Hello. Oh, that's fine. Cheers, my dears. It's water. I haven't been there since 1955. Yeah. 1995. That book's probably my typo, so you know. I like to include a non-code stitch and everything, so you know humor did it. I'm so stinking excited. Thank you, Melanie, and thank you, Jacqueline McRae, for the invitation to be here. This is a big deal. Well, yeah, I'm grateful to be with all the speakers as well. It's a wonderful team today. I'm going to talk to you about layering in natives. This is our team for Connect to Protect. It's a gardening philosophy. It's also a program at the State Botanical Garden of Georgia, which is in Athens, Georgia. How many have you been? You are my loves. This is our team in plant conservation and science. We're very proud. I'm very proud of this. I've been at the garden for 23 years, and it's because I love what we do. I value what we do, and I love the people I work with. And this is them. So everything that you will hear today is a we. It's a team of us developing this material, and I am honored to have Elaine Nash in the room. She is our longtime mentor, taught us everything we knew. We know. I'm not going to cry. Okay. Early days walking with my son, 8 years old, throwing a ball for the dog. And these lovely things are just in the grassland. And my son sees all the different kinds of bees and things buzzing around. And he says, Mom, why can't people see this? Why don't people see this? And it's been a mission of ours at the Botanical Garden to help people see the value of plants and native plants. This is me. I'm so grateful you laughed. Thank you. This is me. You need to know my heart. Now this is my home garden. Yeah, there's a crepe myrtle, and there's also native plants. I love many kinds of plants. My goal, though, is to get you to layer in native plants into everything that you do. And I know I'm talking to my tribe. This is also more about my heart. This is a place we play up in the North Georgia mountains, and this is an old field that we were restoring towards Prairies with strategic mowing. And oxeye daisies there, and you know, it's okay. It petered out after time. We did burn it twice, and the daisies went away. But we loved them while they were there. That boy right there is 18 years old now. This is how we used to teach. Benefits of natives, right? Save time, save money, right place. Education, aesthetics. We worked real hard for years at the Botanical Garden, all my plant tribe, trying to teach people to value native plants, to inspire, encourage, introduce, create, passion. We wanted people to value native plants, and we tried to teach this. And some people got it immediately, and some people just kind of, you're just a crazy lady. The drought did help, the epic drought. People started calling the State Botanical Garden saying, hey, all my hydrangeas are failing. I think I'd like to put some native plants on the land. So this did help, but then back then, what species and where do you get them? Plant blindness is indeed a thing. We're losing plants faster than animals on the planet. We know why. Plants can't get up and move. This is my face. I'm that little bird. We know we're experiencing this, the Anthropocene, 7th major extinction on the planet. How come we have such a hard time getting people to think about native plants? I know you're my tribe. Here's my face. And this was the game changer, wasn't it? This was the game changer. The number one reasons to plant natives in your home landscape, bringing nature home. We must incorporate the natives so we can layer in all the trophic layers. And if you love birds, you will plant native plants. I can start a talk with that and the room goes, oh, okay. And I don't have to aspire to their hearts as much in ways, I don't have to put eyelashes on plants, although I like to do that. That is my sea captain, Heather Alley. She is legit a sea captain, 7th generation, and has spent time in big ships up in Alaskan waters. She has cages for protecting smooth coneflower, which is an endangered coneflower. She's lead recovery expert on that species. And she is the one who has taken Doug Tallamy's message and applied it to Georgia landscapes. And she has spent the last 10 years selecting natives for gardening and for restoration, and then studying how to get those seeds, increase those seeds, grow them, put them on, and then put them back on the land. So this is her mission, and she is the other half of my brain. We get it, don't we? So in 2017, we put native plants downtown Athens, and by fall of 2018, there were goldfinches in downtown Athens again. We get it. The dramatic silence. Right? Have y'all read this? Yeah. Gulf-footed caterpillars. We don't pick them off when they're eating our maypops. We get excited. And when we sell these maypops at our native plant sale, and there's a little bitty baby gulf-footed caterpillar, people are walking out like they're carrying their infant child, right? Because they don't want to bump that baby caterpillar off. It makes our hearts so happy. So here's Heather Alley, Captain Alley, and she's figuring out the what, the how, the where. This is a program called Connect to Protect for Biodiversity. We've been at this for a while, and that is our Mason bee logo that a UGA student developed for us. We love butterflies. They are the gateway bug to pollinators, right? Like gateway drug, gateway bug. But we are really keen to teach and promote our native bees, and then all these other lovely little things, like Doug Talamy was showing us. So Connect to Protect for Biodiversity. You can put natives in potted displays and you will have impact. And you can have built landscapes, and they can be small. This is a garden design by the Folkley Garden Company. You might know Julie Evans, some of you. What a wonderful thing. They've been doing this for years, weaving natives in, and it's absolutely beautiful. Notice the border that gives it some definition. Love the Folkley Garden Company. And our big word, and we did some researching on this word to make sure we could reach people's minds, some marketing research at the university, incorporate. We're not telling you to go all native, although there is a lot to be said for that. We do want you to incorporate. This is my home garden. There's phlox, stavericated, and I got a juga, I've got some other things. I got some other, what is that called? It's blooming now, that thing. And this is our pocket prairie that we've been restoring through strategic mowing. I cannot tell you how many people up there that live near there have said, when are you going to mow that? Can't see your pretty fence because you're, and now they're saying, hey, can I come pick blackberries? Hey, can I run my dogs through there because you got rabbits and things? No, hell no, you can't run your dogs through there. I've been popping in diversity in there for the last 15, I just said a curse word in front of the audience. You cannot run your dogs through there. I'll knit my stems and run my seeds. They look at me like she's a crazy lady. This is how we maintain that pocket prairie. There's Oliver again. He was little. He's been at that for many years. It works. It works. Strategic mowing between the transition of spring and winter, shifts around a little bit, mowing patches, and you'll be amazed what comes back. We do have to manage for some invasives. Elaine Nash's work back in Vanilla Mountain, 2004, prescribed fire 2 years in a row, got all these amazing natives to pop back up under the tall fescue that went away. Look at that. That popped up with strategic mind, Elaine Nash. We'll be hearing more about that this afternoon. Andrea will set you up there. This is our Mimsy Linear Center for Native Plant Studies, where we live, at the Botanical Garden. That's Mimsy on the right, and she let us put her name on there. We didn't think she would because she likes to work behind the scenes, but she got us started when I first came to the Botanical Garden and said, hey, can we do plant conservation here? And hey, I wrote a job description, and hey, somebody needs to raise money for my salary, and she did, and she's wonderful. She's still with us. We have propagation facilities. This is the old horticulture complex at the Botanical Garden. Our horticulture staff has a new complex now. And we really don't need glass houses, so we do shut those suckers off for much of the year. We need more hoop houses. And we do all kinds of things. Imperiled species recovery, plants for restoration, floodplain, prairie. We also grow plants for sale and for teaching. These are our increase plots. It's a fancy way of saying we are farming natives, locally collected natives, and increasing their seeds to put back on Georgia land. This started as a Forest Service project. We test natives. Doug Tallamy actually advised our student, J.C. Poitras, on this study, looking at insects on natives versus cultivars, and how these, in 1 year, those natives pop up so beautiful. That's Monarda punctata, spotted bee balm, our most favorite. You're going to hear my most favorite about 100 times today. And something that's really important to us is working with students. We've got next generation coming, and I'm here to tell you they are strong, and they are motivated, and they are more broadly thinking, and they are way more serious than I was when I was 18, 20, 21 years old. They are on it. I was kind of like, oh, pretty, you know. Okay, and these students are amazing. There is great hope for our future, my dears. We have behind-the-scenes plant sales because we get to nerd out on plants face-to-face with people, and they're like, you know what, I want to put natives on my land, but I don't know quite what. Come on, sisters, let me walk you. Let me show you some of my most favorites. They're all my most favorites. But it's behind the scenes, which also gives people a sneak peek at how we do what we do, and that there are jobs in conservation and horticulture. And there, Captain Alley, we have wonderful interpretive signs. We show pictures of the plants because they aren't in flower. And we have a great time. This is in October, so come see us. The Connect to Protect Native Plant Sale, always the first 2 weeks in October, always Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We have a lot of resources for you about this program, Gardening with Natives, Connect to Protect for Biodiversity. There's brochures, and they are, Karen Rollins has some at the UGA table, and Susan Myers has some brochures. It's also on the web. See the stories that we're telling? Look familiar? We have signs for these Connect to Protect gardens, so when people walk by, they go, ow, nice. What's that about? And species list. This is an old species list for sun, an example to people in the brochure, what you could plant. Don't try to read that. I'm just saying, we got this for you. We got this. I'm ready to help you. We have 2 coloring books now with native plants, and the second one incorporates plants that we eat as well, so people are making that, the food connection between native plants and pollinators and then foods. So we're getting these stories out to people, and this was all done by Susie Henderson, who's a UGA student. Oh my God, the next generation is amazing. And native plant nurseries, we can tell you where to get these native plants. These plants are in the trade, or we're getting them into the trade. This is our website. And you can go and get our native plant nursery list. You've got some amazing native plant nursery folks here today. Beach Hollow Farms, Nearly Native, nurseries from Fayetteville. These people live on love and ramen noodles. They are mission driven, and we really, at the university, really want to lift up native plant nurseries. They are living the mission, and we love these people. So here's how to get there. Go to our homepage, State Botanical Garden, Science and Conservation. Click it. Pull down. You can go to any of these tabs, the Native Plant Initiative or Connect to Protect, it's right there. And on the sidebar, all kinds of materials for you. Native Plant Nursery List, and also right below that is Heather Alley's manual for propagating a first suite of native plants that really do wonderful things for pollinators. And she's sharing her soil mix, she's sharing her tips for getting those plants on the land, because it's challenging to grow plants in Georgia, isn't it? How many of you live in the coastal plain? How many of you live in the Piedmont? Bless us. How many of you are from the mountains? And the Region Valley in the Northwest Georgia? Hello, friends. Barrier Islands, coast?
Alabama.
And my beloved from Alabama. All right. So if you garden in the Piedmont, y'all know. And if you're gardening in sandy soils, you know. But gardening in the Piedmont, it's craziness. So those tips are there. So we got resources for you. You're welcome to take notes today, but know that we got stuff for you, waiting for you. This is our vision. I am going to read this because it makes me well up. All right? Our vision. We envision a Georgia where native plants are incorporated regularly into urban and suburban gardens, where roadsides, farm field borders, food plots, and power line rights of way featuring native grasses and wildflowers are a standard practice, where prairies and floodplains are managed for invasives and restored with best native plant management practices by corporations and government agencies, where native plant gardens are abundant and support full life cycle of insect species, and where no imperiled plant species goes extinct. Can I get an amen? Hot dog. That's what I'm talking about. This is happening in Georgia, and there's a lot of people in this room that are partners with us on this. Good stuff coming. So, yes, native plants for your garden. We want you to get the right species. We want you to go Georgia. Then we want you to take it a step further in. We want you to go local ecotype, Georgia seeds. So you get it for the monarch. We want our flowers to time with their migration, right? So we're working towards, at least get the right species, but then try and get the right seeds from your physiographic province if you can. So, got Georgia milkweed, right? Little milk mustache, got milkweed? Got milk. The Georgia Milkweed Initiative, there's a lot of partners in here. You can read about it on the web, who they are, but the goal is to increase local milkweed species for gardening, for restoration. We do have volunteers that are trained. They go out and do this work. They collect those pods for us and increase them. And milkweeds are remarkably hard to grow from seed, I'm saying. Looking at Christine Patron, she's like, yes, sister. They're remarkably hard, but Henning von Schmeling at the Chattahoochee Nature Center is the state expert. And he is teaching classes for us. He taught one on the coast recently and trained volunteers with Georgia DNR for collecting seeds, training growers, training homeowners. We're going to be teaching one of these classes in middle Georgia. Karen Rollins is going to help us set that up. When? I think Henning said he could do it this summer, but we got to nail it down. Henning and Karen are talking. We need volunteers that go out and ethically collect. We call it the 10% rule when we're touching wild populations. That is all one species, y'all. That is genetic diversity in seed-grown plants. We like seed-grown plants that are open-pollinated. I want to share some serious love on monarchs across Georgia and Susan Myers. We produced a brochure. It's on the web. There are some here. This is gardening for Georgia gardening milkweeds for Georgia gardeners. And it's a big deal. This brochure is a big deal. We got in with a botanist and figured out which species would be fine. Which species of milkweed we should mess with and which species we need to leave alone. We need to leave the threatened and endangered ones alone for now. Right? We also need to leave two thugs alone. Right? And this is true confession, y'all. That's my garden. I had tropical milkweed in my garden. I thought I was doing good. I thought I was helping. But we didn't know. We didn't know. Now we know. Now you're burdened with knowledge you can never unsee. Like when you learn an invasive, you can never unsee it, right? Oh, God. Get this out of your garden. It promotes EO pathogen on our monarchs. Get it out of your garden. Makes them linger too long. I'm sorry, but you got to. And this is the other big one. And this is why monarchs across Georgia is a great friend. The botanists got into the original records for buried specimens. That is not a native species of Georgia, but if you Google it, if you go to web searches, they're going to recommend common milkweed for Georgia. The botanist cannot, Tom Patrick, the state botanist, cannot sleep at night because of this species. It is great for monarchs. It is terrible for plant communities. It is an invasive love for Georgia. We used to sell it at the Botanical Garden. I had it in my garden. I'm confessing, and I'm right there with you in solidarity. I'm sorry, we didn't know, but now we know. So monarchs across Georgia, even though it's good for monarchs, have said in solidarity with the botanists, with the plant community, that they are teaching that we cannot have this. And I'm talking not just restoration, I'm talking home gardens too. I'm sorry to tell you what not to plant, but by golly, right? The seeds blow. The State Botanical Garden of Kentucky tried to kill this for 2 years in their garden. Plastic, herbicides, blah, blah, blah. This is me. This is me. I know. It's sad and true. But y'all in my tribe, we talk. We would so hang out. I get these things off Facebook and such. There's Kiss My Aster is one of the little things you can follow. And whoever runs Kiss My Aster has my humor. And this is me. So I was asked to talk about some of my most favorite plants. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. So here we go. I have to tell you, Heather Alley has at least 326 species that she is selecting for Georgia gardens. So people say, can you tell me what to plant on my land? Well, no, ma'am. No, sir, I can't. I need to know your land, right? We're going to get to that. But there's a lot of great plants. I know you know. And we share this information every year with our plant sale, and she ties all the details in there, the height, the sun, the soil, and the critters. She teaches the critters that like these plants. We call them critters. That's a zoological technical term, critters. So, these plants have looks, and they have personality. They have ecological function. How about that? That is how we teach now. Oh, that's pretty, but does it have ecological function? Is it doing anything besides? All right, so here's some favorites. Really fast. Hold on your seats. So New Jersey tea, love it. Somebody has used it as a little tiny hedgerow, replacing how boxwood would function in our garden. It is more, no, it's statewide. Love this. Bees of all kinds, I can't even tell you. Love New Jersey tea. Love it. It's my most favorite. Yeah. You shall garden by genus. Everybody must have some kind of pycnanthemum. Native Georgia pycnanthemum. Mountain mint. Hoary mountain mint. That's here, y'all. Hoary mountain mint. Y'all didn't giggle. Okay. Must have some pycnanthemum. So Don Hunter is documenting the critters that are on our native wildflowers, because we don't know all these things for Georgia. Scientists we don't know. There's over 1,000 species of moths not named for Georgia. It's amazing. We're not sure what all our bees are. We're not even sure the complete butterfly list when I ask experts. We got a lot of cool learning to do. So take pictures of the critters on your plants and send them to us. Don Hunter caught 31 species of insect in 31 minutes standing there photographing the sky. Love pycnanthemum. There's pick, there's pycnanthemum uticum. Love rattlesnake master, statewide. That is, and planted in clumps, oh my gosh, crazy covered with insects. So beautiful, drought tolerant, gets established. These are mostly prairie plants. They have deep roots, they are long lived. They can be 150 years old, some of these prairie plants. Love it. It's my most favorite. Regostema dichotomum. Liberals, right? This is a little demure plant. Alan Creswell, he gets up in there and takes his photography. This is a little guy, but in the book, Planting in a Post-Wild, get the title right? Planting in a Post-Wild World. Thank you, the brain. They talk about this as a filler. It does. It kind of plants itself into little spaces. And it's so charming with these little blue curls. And you can't just walk by this and see it's glowing. You gotta slow down. Have some wine together. Get to know her. Have a conversation and look at how charming she is when you get up close to meet her. Penstemons. You must put beard tongues in your garden. Look at that landing pad for the bees. You know it's doing good things. Lots of penstemons. Wonderful species. There's Australis, there's Levigatus. This is Smallii, which is more northern. but plant them in clumps. They also have beautiful fall color in the rosettes. Oh my gosh, they just keep giving. I like horse mint. Lobelia, and I tell you what, this is one of those things where people make a snarky face, and I say, you plant that sucker in mass, it's fresh, right? You make a big Callaway effect. Callaway Gardens planting of Lobelia, and look how charming that is. The little Makota mint flowers. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It's my most favorite. How about lyre-leaf sage? Some people snub lyre-leaf sage. Now, I will caution you, if you put it in your garden, it will spread around a little bit. Heather Alley did put it in her garden because she tests everything, and she was like, thanks, Jennifer, that's fun to weed out. Because it plants itself everywhere. I have a driveway full of it. I drive over it, but I've got thousands of stems, and then I walk down, and it's fine. It's a gravel driveway. It's beautiful. In mass, again, and an early spring bloomer for our early critters, our early bees. Love it. I'm helping you to re-see old friends. You must have monardas in your home garden. You must. I'm talking mailbox garden. That's fine. A potted garden. That's fine. You must have some monardas. We love fistulosa. We love spotted bee balm. Look at that in mass. And this has full year interest. Those stems kind of preserve, and they're pink and green, and they dry with that pink and green effect. It has year-round interest. Ecological function, and gorgeous. Now, I've had people make little sneers and snobs at the daisy flea veins. My golly, I love these daisy flea veins. And it is available in the trade. This is a great plant for gardens, and again, planted in mass. Love original porcellus. This is my face when people make fun of original porcellus. My face the entire time. I send this picture to my son when he's giving, when I doubt something that he has said. Yeah, I'm studying, Mom, I'm studying. This is Europe, y'all. The Ceskas 3 were in Austria and Germany this summer. My husband is from Austria. They aren't mowing in Germany anymore. It is a little shocking at first. Their parks are knee-high in grass. And there are signs in Germany inviting you to come lay down in the grass. And there are signs explaining why they are no longer mowing their parks. Everybody was talking about the research that came out. That's in 2018. Everybody was talking about the bees and the bee decline. People in the grocery store line. In German, I know Biene, so I got Biene. They were talking about bees. I heard Biene. And the cities and the gardeners reacted immediately, and they don't mow their parks. They will mow a purposeful edge, and they are letting everything come up, and then they will spot spray or they'll work on any thugs, invasives that they see, but they're letting it come up and they're going to strategic mowing instead of lawn mowing. A purposeful edge. That is completely charming. There's a house in Athens. They have dandelions like crazy this time of year, and they mow a purposeful edge, and it looks charming. It looks like it's meant to. It tells a better story than, oh, they're not taking care of their property. No, they're doing great work. This is a video. We're going to skip it. I apologize. I'm going to get better at videos. This is me and Heather bantering about nerding out on plants, because that's what we do. And then, meanwhile, there's 1,000 million critters buzzing on these buckcomb flowers. Some more things. So popping in color into your garden. I'm saying mailbox garden. I'm saying plant in patches. I'm saying prairie, pocket prairies. Planting in this is a Northwest Georgia species, but in a garden you can get away with it. Kosteletskia. How many people have swamp marshmallow in their garden? Oh, my friends, I love you. Okay, you all, next year, you're all going to have it. It is such a great plant. It's yay tall. It's a native hibiscus. It's easy to grow from seed. The seed pods will stick to you, so you can like wear it as a decorative ornament as you walk around. And the flowers are small and pink. It's a coastal plain plant, but I have it growing in the Piedmont and the mountains, so it performs real well. And it's just so cute. And they used to make marshmallow thickening agent from the roots of this, but do not go do this because you will poison yourself and then be in trouble. But that, we love this plant. Kostaletskis, swamp marshmallow. Moving faster, we love the sages. The reds, the blues, love it, are most favorites. We love popping in color and planting Thessalian mass. This is a granite rock outcrop plant. You can get it in a trade. It's also called scorpion. It's got that helicoid sign that unfurls like a fiddlehead, like a fern. And it can be blue and purple and pink if it's seed grown. All that genetic diversity in one big patch. And then you plant it with stipa, which is now Piptochedium, Elaine Nash taught me that plant, which has this, that black needle grass, and it's just bouncing. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Of course phlox, of course, right? You shall have phlox, of course. But take a walk with me, my friends, to this one, Phlox paniculata genna. Okay, we can talk cultivars later. We like them. This one we love. This one was selected from out Cuba, did a study, wonderful fella, comparing all kinds of phlox. This phlox genna selection creates copious amounts of nectar, and the nectar has a crazy amount of micronutrients that are good for butterflies. It's like it's like a really good smoothie. What is that? Like a green smoothie for butterflies. So it was selected for its ecological function. So we select for tall, for this, for that, and such and so, and now we're selecting for how they support butterflies. Is that not brilliant? They're not just all critters. Love the phlox genna for that lesson that it's teaching us. Cultivars, when they get into double flowering stuff and they've lost their reproductive possibilities because they've lost their parts, giggle. Thank you. Then we're a little less happy about we're a little less interested in those cultivars. But there's some great selections out there. Look at Heather Alley teaching about Solidago. Now, friends, don't let friends plant tall Solidago species, right? Solidago canadens, no. But there are so many small Solidago species that are great for Georgia gardens. The tall ones are colonizers, that's their function. But you don't want to put that in your garden. And if you've got it in your prairie or old field situation, you're going to want to manage it because it's a thug. It's a thug. It's not invasive, but it is a thug. Okay. Technically, you know what I'm saying, in the technical definition. This is the science and technical definition. Solidago rugosa, in this selection is fireworks because it makes these beautiful sprays. So you must have Solidago goldenrod in your pocket prairie mailbox garden, potted garden. Moving fast. Solidago petiolaris is in the back corner. It's right behind student Carly's head. It is so covered in critters, and we had some little girls at the native plant sale, and they were scared of the bees. So Heather went over and showed them how to be a bee charmer, right? Just be calm and put your hand in there, and you're fine. And the bees are so busy, they're not interested in you. So what a nice opportunity to teach. Love the split beard. Love the native grasses. We just heard about native grasses hosting skippers. Who was that fellow from New England Wildflower Society? Yes. His book, he describes this as two caterpillars in love's embrace. Because it's a split beard. There's two. See? I know these plants. Elaine taught me. Yeah, Bill Colleen. You're right. His wonderful book. Daryl Morrison talks about using this, planting this on the west side of your property. So when the sun sets, the light comes through. Right? So that's what I did in my garden, on my neighbor's mailbox garden, actually. I planted this so I would have this effect, and they let me do it. We colonize. I love Sergastrum secundum, the lopsided. So the other Indian grasses, yes, they're great. You might not want to put them in your garden quite yet unless you've already got plants established. Then you can pop them in, because if you put them in first, they'll be like, thanks, coming in for the party. And they might crowd up. You might be managing them. But this one, smaller, a little more demure, is in the tray. So gorgeous. And Elaine taught me this. The awns are like when someone lets down their hair and they're hanging. Just romantic. There's romance in these native plants. looks, and personality. And we love Spiralis gentius. It occurs across the state. It's a great plant in a pot. It is so charming. These little bitty delicate florets. And it does move around a little bit, but not to the point where you can share, but you're not too concerned yet. But it will self-seed. So in a good way. How about that? It's aggressive in a good way. It's not aggressive, but it does spread. You must have baptisias. Think about birds that eat peas. You put it in the ground, you leave it, you don't move it. We love alba. We love australis. We love albescens. We love tinctoria. All these baptisia species. They make those peas, and birds love to eat them, and there's other critters that are on these flowers, and they stand up and make proud displays. It might take them 3 years to establish, but they're worth the wait. The courtship is long, but they are worth the wait. And everybody must put Georgia aster. This is, no, it got 3 heart shapes. This is really our most favorite. Now, aster is Symphyotrichum. I know. Symphyotrichum georgianum. Big honkin'. That's a technical term. Big honkin'. Purple flowers. End of the season. Array, the array of ray colors. Oh, botanical joke. The array of rays, the botanical plant. Purples to deep purples, and that white eye, and the disc flowers, Georgia aster. Heather can tell aster, this one from Peyton's, by feeling the hairs, and she can go, no, that's Peyton's. Yeah, that's Georgia aster right there. I'm not there, but she can do it. And Elaine can do it, but I can't. You must have helianthus in your garden. We know angustifolius, a lot of us have it. Try some of these others. I love atrorubens. It has these lovely purple stems coming up. Now, a lot of these prairie plants, when they flower, they kind of let go of their rosettes, right? We say they get ugly legs late in the season, so you might want to plant a little something in front of them. Plant these tall guys to the back. Let them reach up and peek up at the sky. Atrorubens is about yay tall when it flowers. Even the stem is charming. The purple with the purple hairs. I tell y'all, I can nerd out on plants. Eutrochium, used to be Eupatorium. I'm good with this genus name change. Makes sense, because bone sets are Eupatoriums, right? Love, 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 love. And we follow dates. We get our seeds sown by Valentine's. We cut our plants back by July 4th. You can cut your mints, your helianthus in half, your asters. And then it'll resprout, and they won't be so tall in your garden. And they'll be multi-branched. So we follow that. July 4th is the last time you can cut them now. Yep. You can cut your choke highs, you can cut your asters, you can cut your mints, but not after July 4th, because then they won't flower for you. We cut our asters a little bit later.
The Solidago, the tall one.
Well, you don't have to cut the Solidago tall one, right? Because it's not going to send up its stem until the fall, right? Now, you're not putting the tall Solidago species, the paniculata, in your garden because it's a
Well, my neighbor does.
I know, mine does too. And look at that, monarchs having so happy. That's my home garden. So happy, so happy. And every Georgia garden, even if it's a mailbox garden, even if it's a potted garden, must have native azaleas, must have blueberries. Because of our southeastern blueberry bee, we are so proud of this sucker. We love the southeastern blueberry bee, but it needs more support than blueberry orchards. It needs blueberries throughout, and it needs azaleas for ongoing things. There's a beautiful plantation near Moultrie where the landowner has been ranching with prescribed fire for years and years, and she's just done beautiful things. In that, when you are looking at the diversity in her understory, you see so many native grasses and flowers, but you see azaleas and blueberries everywhere. They're demure because they've been burned about every year, but they are fabulous, and her property is covered with bees. Love them. Y'all know about the sonification? We can all get up and do sonification where they vibrate their thorax muscles. Doug can play act this out for us real well. And the buzz pollination and the frequency, it releases the pollen on the blueberry. I mean, that is brilliant. We should support our lovely, lovely southeastern blueberry bees. And we love this in our gardens. And we teach this. Oh, you better spray, honey. You got holes in this. And all these critters. We're trying to get towards all these critters. So if you have critters on your natives, take pictures and send them to us. We're interested, and we've got partners that are identifying them. Yep, checking the time. This is Bashira, and she's teaching us about native plants, about the insects that are on our native plants. She is from Auburn University. And she says that most of our threatened and endangered plants in Georgia are failing reproductively. And it's not, and a lot of our pollinators, especially our spring wildflowers, are actually beetles. And we should be, these aren't the right beetles. She's talking about sap beetles, nitilids. Oh, I got a lot to learn. Whole new thinking. Trillion species pollinated by beetles. We've got a lot more gardening to do than for bees and butterflies. Let's see if you get this one. Is that cute? Just making sure with me. We're moving fast. So with Connect to Protect, we are putting these plants on the ground for bats, for birds. We're working with Trina. She said the bats need food. More plants that host moths. So we have all these white flowering wildflowers, but other species too that are selected that host moths. And we're planting them near caves with DNR, weaving them back on the land. We have Connect to Protect for bats gardens, teaching people about, it's a native plant garden, y'all, but it's got critters, and you're teaching that the bats need this too, and we love our bats in Georgia. And this is the interpretation, right? Notice it's not called American wisteria, it's called Georgia wisteria. Why? Because in Texas, at Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center, they call it Texas wisteria. It's the same dang species, y'all. I like Georgia wisteria. Well, that's a common name. We can do what we want. Right? Indian pink, et voila. How about this in the Cohatas? Talk about planting en masse. Hugh and Carol Norris took this picture for us. Who says that our native wildflowers don't have a bluebonnet effect? Now, okay, let's talk about getting the plants on the ground. Well, this would be lovely if we could scatter seeds and go, yay, joy, we've got natives on the ground. This is North Carolina. Our soils are different, y'all. I know you know. I would be rude if I told you, just get some seeds and scatter them. No, my dears, we can't. We really can't. Now, if you live in the coastal plain, you can do a bit more of that. You can do a bit more scattering of seeds. You're going to have to be patient, though, because some of these things may take 2 and 3 years to come up. If you live in the Piedmont, that's cruel and unusual to tell somebody to scatter seeds. It can be done if you have good soils, but in most places, not so much. So we're teaching people to start with plugs. A plug is like a 6-pack size plant, right? Invest in plugs. I'm going to skip these slides. But you remove invasive, I'm going to go real fast. You remove invasives, pause, see what comes up. You go to 3 again, do not plant, wait. Think cover crop. We love red clover as a cover crop. And then you're going to layer in biodiversity. We can talk about this another day. Other speakers will hit on this, but think plugs, not gallons. You can direct sow seeds, but only if good soils. Think mints and native grasses for your matrix species if you don't like them. And then you can pop in some other diversity. Think seeding in plots. You're restoring a pocket prairie the size of this stage. You want milkweed? Plant 1 corner, 3 milkweed plants, and let them seed in through time. Or Maryland golden aster in a pocket, and then take seeds and scatter them in your soil that can take it. And then be patient. I did that in my prairie, my old field, and I had this ribbon of Maryland golden aster down, just right. You could see where I walked. It was a good year. Keep up with invasives. You're always going to be managing invasives, my dears. Always. Going native, going Georgia specific, and then we're going to talk about planting landscapes. Some things, I can share this PowerPoint, but Daryl Morrison, we love how he teaches about weaving in natives. We love the Highline Project. It's so funny that the book is here. I didn't put that together when we put this out there. Gardening in a Post-Wild World, we love this. And the Native Plant Podcast, have y'all started listening to those? Yeah. Those guys are so wonderful. Oh my goodness, you're driving, just listen to Native. It's on the internet, you can Bluetooth it. Love the lessons in there. We love these things. So, Connect to Protect Gardens. We have been doing this for a while. This was 2015. This is Rose Hill Cemetery. Popping in natives in Rose Hill Cemetery to support biodiversity in downtown Macon. And this was yesterday. And that is not Conradina verticillata, that is Conradina canescens. I apologize. Canescens. That's a rare species, y'all. I'm sorry. Conradina canescens planted in a border. Notice the orange flags. There's Pacra, a woolly ragwort. It's a rock outcrop plant that's blooming. Did you notice those orange flags? It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Maybe if you're doing a more public garden, because we got a lot of teaching to do. People, they saw the weeds. The team that was hired, it was a work crew, community service work group type situation, and they went through and they saw the weeds and they sprayed them because that's what they were told to do. So we're having a Rose Hill Garden reboot. We did, and we have a wonderful team here in Macon doing this project. But we have these signs now, and maybe put this sign out for 3 years if you're doing a public site or a school garden for Connect to Protect. Formal landscapes planted in clumps and ribbons, 3-foot by 3-foot patches for search images for bees. And it can look beautiful and manicured. So this is at the center, the Mendelineer Center, and we use this for teaching. It's right there at our plant sale. And this was the first year. A student designed this, Stuart Johnson, and he got all in there, and he actually made the wall and did the drainage for us. We can share all this with you. And this is what South Campus looks like now. Big, happy plants. They gave us the worst spot, y'all. We did a drain test where you dig a hole and you put water in it. The next day, the water was still at the top. I'm from Texas, and I exaggerate. That is not an exaggeration, my friends. It was the worst sticky clay. That whole hillside of water collected there. So now there's like, I gotcha. I'm going to put wetland plants in there, and you'll see. Gorgeous. Now they want mini gardens on campus. We're like, all right, we camp for some money. We can do that. This is on campus. That same Solidator Rugosa with the fireworks. We did the same thing downtown. Wove natives in. 7 corners downtown Athens. Y'all, people, we thought maybe the plants would be stomped to death because, you know, college students happen in a college town sometimes. But we planted in 2017. We also put a border of annuals for color. We are a botanical garden horticulturist. We maintain these beds. Heather Alley maintains these beds. Gorgeous. 7 corners. This is what it looked like later that same year. Milkweeds and color. Joe Pye and color. Coneflowers. And this is where they saw goldfinches. So we're documenting the biodiversity coming back to downtown Athens. Heather's doing this in the old 4th Ward, weaving natives in. And AMLI just is giving her another contract to grow natives. It's amazing. Let's see if y'all are reading my sign. Ask you about the green arrow. Thank you. That's so I wouldn't forget. I mean, this is a village. So, potted displays. Pots of natives. Everything we're talking about will do well in a large pot with deep soil. A big pot. Remember, these things have deep roots. Right? And in Heather's manual, she talks about the soil. It's a chunky soil. It's not a peat soil. It's a chunky soil, lots of air. It's got composted pine bark and bits of rock. Vignettes. You see that border? That's Chasmanthium latifolium, river oats. Friends don't let friends plant river oats in their front garden. I still digging it out. But talk about a seeding in plot. We've got an erosion situation along the road. So instead of planting the whole hillside, Heather planted the top. And then she harvests that hay and lays it down, and the plants are filling in down the hillside. So she can use this for seed. She produces these plants for restoration. It's great for keeping microstegium out of a wetland, create a bastion of this, keep the microstegium, the Nepalese brown top from washing in. We got kids, teaching connect to protect biodiversity. They know the natives. They know the critters. They know the techniques for getting them in. How we amend up on our clay soils. We do not till, my friends. We do not till. We can stab it with a screwdriver. We do not till. We are changing the way we garden. We don't mulch to Heckenback, Texas. Heckenback. We don't mulch, we leave some bare soil. We leave our leaves on the ground. Thank you, Professor Doug Tellamy, right? So we have kids teaching these lessons, middle schools, high schools, elementary schools, statewide. There's several schools in the area. UGA students doing this on rooftop gardens, natives everywhere. Natives downtown by the hospital for peace and recovery. And generations. Chickamauga downtown. These are called Connect to Protect Ambassador Gardens. We're putting them in Chickamauga. We hope to be putting one in Moultrie area. We're talking to Cairo, Georgia. We're talking to Savannah. We want these big Connect to Protect display gardens. Oh my God, what is that machine? Okay, don't till your garden unless you're a school, because your garden is backfilled. We found spark plugs and insulation in school gardens. We had children bouncing like pogo sticks, trying to get a shovel in the clay of a school garden. It's ridiculous. Okay, till in a school garden. But otherwise, we don't till. We don't want to break the soil. We don't want to wake up the weed seeds. We were going to learn about it today. Loving on the soil in different ways. Really, there's rare situations, I believe, when we till. Rosalind Carter wrote a personal note to Heather Alling, and she wanted to make her garden and Connect to Protect for biodiversity garden. It's more than a butterfly garden, she said. Ooh, well done. Tears. Rosalind Carter, my God. Seed increase. Lots of touches required. Visiting, that's a lot of work. Farming natives, but they're beautiful. You have growers doing this in Georgia. Buy your plants from them. DOT is doing amazing things, y'all. It's a new world. Changing the way roadsides are managed through strategic mind. This is by Columbus. Helping people to see that they don't have to mow this down. Sometimes we have to make it look purposeful with an edge. There's an edge. And that's only mowed so I can sit there with my toes up and drink my wine. It's my favorite place on the planet. And I'm popping in diversity through time. I'm not going to buy 100 plugs. Well, okay, I did. But normal people don't necessarily do that, but I'll buy 3, and I'll start with that, and then I'll nurture and let that increase through time. Pop in the diversity with plugs, not gallons. So we do studies on how to restore larger landscapes with natives.